All right, it's another Thursday, time for the weekly RTTY contest. I think I got everything set up okay this time, which is what I said last time, but we'll do it again anyway. All right, we're going to be using FLDIGI to send RTTY. Look down here for the RTTY contest, the weekly contest. The exchange is just name and state. Name and state. Put the rules in the tab here. Again, here are the suggested frequencies. I normally start on 20 meters and move over to 40 meters halfway through. And make this chat window smaller. That's all right. So let's set the radio up first. We want to be in data upper sideband. If you got a roofing filter, make it at 3K like it is here, 3 kilohertz. Make sure your bandwidth is set to 3000 for digital modes. We normally start out around 14083, somewhere in there. Yeah, they say 14083 here. We're going to put our power at 40 watts. Oh, that's my FM radio. I keep hearing. I was wondering what that sound was. We got adjust the output to our speakers. You see the US audio codec is selected here. I found that it works best at 33 for me. And we're going to open FLDIGI. Is it there? Give it enough room where you can see it right there. If you don't see anything in your signal browser right here, it's normally hidden. Your screen will be like that. But if you move the mouse right here, it turns to double arrows. You can click it. And in this version that I have, for some reason, it won't show anything unless I open another signal browser window. So I'll open that. And I just put it in the background somewhere. Gotta check my monitor settings. My level says 14. I'll put it about 20. Turn off any noise reduction on the radio. All right. Now that sound is, I believe that's FT4. I'm trying to get this number down in the white here to just say 14083. All right, we gotta remember to set FLDIGI to RTTY mode, RTTY 45, or it won't send. Pop our meters out and pop it over here so we can keep an eye on our ALC. I'm going to pop this back on 14083 like I normally do. Got stuff going off in Discord. Now we actually have 15 minutes before the contest. I'm actually early. For once. Let me go in and meet this. Or just put it over here. Comes up. I'll move it to a different screen. So that's 14083 that I'm on. But actually it's kind of, the frequency is here in white. It's 14084. Trying to get away from those FE4 or FE8 signals, whatever that is. Alright, it says I think I'm going to try starting out on 4083 this time. Alright, that is 14083. Let's see if we can send a test message. Is it a weekly ready test? Alright, make sure we're at 40 watts. Data upper side pin, blah, blah, blah. Let's see if this will go through. Pay attention to that. Let me do it again. I was trying to keep an eye on the ALC up there. So I'm going to look down here in the blue this time. See what it's doing. What is that? My table? Yeah, that's my table right there. Let me get my table out of the picture. I'll leave it. Okay. Let's send this test message again. But this time I'm watching the blue here. Okay, yeah, it's turning red. That means it's sending. Okay, it's supposed to stop there, which is what it did. So all my settings are okay. I gotta go check my macros again. See, weekly ready test. So that's fine. When I send out the CQ, I'm going to say WRT so that they know it's the weekly ready contest. And when I answer, I'm going to send their call sign and then my name and state 2 times. The radio is going to send whatever's inside of this TX and the RX. And this call here in brackets is one of the little tags over here that you can use. You can either select them from the menu here, Or you can just type them in directly if you know the name. So that was fine. Look at the final. Thank you, 73, and I'll send my call. Okay, so that's fine. All right, so I'm all set up this time. Send it one more time. Let's see if I hear any other signals. And of course I don't. There's some right there. I'm right on that one, not decoding it. It's VE2FXL. Must be off just a little bit. So I moved my double bars to the right just a little. I saw it decode over here. Well, maybe he's getting his set up and he's just sending out. Yeah, there it is, VE2FXL. Oh, that reminds me, I need to do a logbook for it. New. Weekly.ready. Let's see if we can get the right date this time. 08/07/2026. 08/07/2026. Okay. All right. So if he'll stay there another 7 minutes, I can make the first contact with him. It's kind of high. It's up on 44089. All right, that should be good. Now, last week I was trying to get 10, and I did not get 10 for some reason. My CQs weren't getting answered for some reason. My camera's a little crooked. That's better. I'm sitting straight up. For some reason, last week they weren't answering my CQs. Summaries. RTTY's always the lower left-hand corner. Weekly RTTY test. Oh, that's today's. They don't have today's yet. That was last week. You see I'm down here at the bottom. I only made 6 because I couldn't get anyone to respond to CQ. I got most of these by hunting. But keep your eye out for N3QE always has a high number of contacts. And I don't know how they're making so many contacts. What do we got here? Live, 10, average duration 102. All right, we got the weekly RTTY contest coming up in 5 minutes. You're trying to make contacts using RTTY, which is a digital protocol. The application that I'm using to make the contacts is called FLDIGI. FLDIGI, which is here. Now, FLDIGI supports multiple digital modes and it also supports CW. So you see all these different digital modes. You can use FLDIGI to send those modes. And you have a bunch of buttons down here. These are all macros. Instead of me sitting here and typing CQ, WRT in my call, I just click a button here that I've assigned to start transmitting and send that information and then stop transmitting. Go back into receive mode, basically. So I don't have to sit here and type over and over again. I just click on the macros. Put something in the chat if you don't mind. That's how I know you're there. All right, we are still waiting for RTTY. There's another strong signal. I think it was there. Everything looks good. All right, we got 3 minutes left. That's a song from the 80s. We got 5 minutes left. Okay, so we've got everything set up. Everything looks good. We are on, well, according to FLDIGI, we're on 14.086. But I stopped there because I heard the signal there. All right, there's another signal up high. It's kind of weak though. And remember, still 2 minutes left for the contest. I assume they're just getting their station set up the way I did. All right, there's a bunch of signals right there. Let's see if they come back though. All right, we got 1 minute. VE2FK. And his name is Dub Dub. Dub. That confused me the first time I made a contact with him. He says, "Thank you, I'm sending my call." So I hit my macro to send my call 2 times. And there's the response. And I enter. He is Dub in QC in Canada. So we will log that, and we've got a contact already. We're going to move over to this signal right here. VEFXL. All right, it keeps cutting out when it gets to the second half of his call sign. His or her call sign. VE2FXL. So I'm going to respond to that one. All right, he called CQ again. If he doesn't respond this time, I'll assume he can't hear me. All right, no response. So I'll move down to this other signal down here and just click on it. It says Don in California. And Art in Illinois. That was NK6A. So I'm responding to that one. There's a response. Don in California. All right, I'm going to move over here and call CQ. All right, I got to keep calling CQ. All right, there's a spot at the reverse beacon network. It's 17 dB. So my signal's getting out. AB9TA is responding. I saw the call sign right here. Looks like Art in LA. All right, so we got a response to our CQ this week, whereas last week we couldn't get anyone to respond. So we're doing better. I'm going to keep sending CQs though, see if I can get someone else to respond. Signal to the right here. You look right here, you can see it's just to the right. All right, there's W9FY. And I responded to W9FY. And he's not responding back. So I'll send it again. All right, here we go. It's Olaf in Illinois. Alright, I'm trying to leave plenty of time for him to respond, but I'm going to keep calling CQ until at least 55. Or until I move down. KW4X. I don't know if that's a partial call sign or not. Looks like it was. I'm calling CQ again. And I don't hear any other signals here. So I'm assuming they've moved up or down. There's one right there. K3FH. I was just about to say I don't see any other signals, and I was going to move up or down, but then I saw K3FH, who is not responding. Can I answer one more time? There's a chance that I can hear him, but he can't hear me. All right, he's not responding, and there's another signal popping up down below here. I gotta wait for it to cycle a second time. And of course it stops. Every time I move away from it, it stops. Looks like K0VW something. All right, nothing's coming back. I moved again and it started up. All right, I'm going to move down a little bit. Some more signals. There's one right there. Slightly off. Now move over. See, that's a strong signal, but I can't get it quick enough. Clear that. All right, they're not answering, so I'm going to call CQ again. All right, we got 4 contacts so far, and we're almost halfway there. Again, I try to get 10 each week, 10 or more. I think I switched away to 40 meters last week a little bit earlier. It didn't seem to matter. I am calling ZQ on 14086. Not hearing anything to the left or to the right. $40 meters is H5. There's a strong signal right there, N1JM. See if they call CQ again. And no, they're not going to call CQ. I believe I have N6KA. And yeah, I've already got that one. See, it turned red there when I clicked the call sign. But we got to find some more. A strong one up here. Okay, that's dub again. All right, let's go ahead and switch to 40. I want to go H5. H5. We got the manual tuner, so I got to flip it when I switch bands. All right, there's 3 or 4 signals. See if I can get any of these. All right, I'm not decoding that one. I'm going to try this one down here. All right, WA3ZC. SWR is out of whack. All right, had to make an adjustment to the tuner there. All right, he's not answering. I'm going to move and see if I can get that signal. All right, we've moved down a little bit. Let's try some of these. W4VA. I can't see who's calling CQ on this. Let's see. W4VP. All right, everything's back down. ALC is good. SWR is good. There's a response. Leave that Ron in Tennessee. to log it and try to get one of these others. Okay, I moved there and they stopped sending. I'm about to move back here. And you see it's not decoding that one too well. This looks like W1QK is sending out a CQ. And then they stop, of course. The strong signal here. I'm going to start sending CQ right there. So we're on 40 meters, weekly RTTY test, trying to make contacts using RTTY. The exchange is simply the first name and state. This is a contest that goes on weekly, every Thursday evening. CQ. We've got 5. We want 5 more. All right, there's my spot. It's 22 dB, but it's louder on 40 meters or stronger. But I got to get somebody to respond to my CQ. You're slightly off if you were responding to me. See if this signal comes back slightly off to the right there. Yeah, they are. You see where these 2 double lines are here? There's a signal that's coming out just to the right of it. W0MB just responded. That's the wrong one. It was W0MB. All right, there's a response. Mike. Mike and MI. All right, so we'll log that one. And we will call CQ again. And when he responded, his response is right here. And I almost missed. So we're going back out with CQ. We want 4 more contacts, so we get 10. There's a K, but they didn't send the rest. Alright, if I don't get a response, I will start hunting again. We're on 40 meters doing the weekly rig contest. We've got a little time left. I'm going to go hunt since no one's answering. Going to click on that and wait. See the strong signal down here. And watch, as soon as I click here, that signal is going to pop up. See there? I was sitting there waiting for it to come and nothing happened, but as soon as I click away from it, N3RTW. I think he was calling CQ while I was transmitting at the same time. I sent it back. Yeah, I sent the call sign back again. There's a response. Sean and VA. Says thank you, and he's on to the next one. Says QRZ in NR40 maybe. Jim in Georgia. WV4P, I've already got you on 40 meters. I know that because it turned red here when I clicked on his call sign. Yeah, there's another strong signal right there. Already got that one. All right, let's move up some. AB9TA it looks like. Matt in Tennessee. And of course it stops decoding the way I want it to. I'm going to move right next to him and call CQ. They can hear my signal if I'm right next to him. Gonna call CQ a few times. Not responding. We got 5 minutes left. And we want 3 more contacts to get to 10. You got 3 signals there that I can't get for some reason. All right, so that's the last CQ I'm going to send right here. I'm going to pick up one of these signals, this one right here. But I've already got you. Or maybe I don't. It didn't shine red, so I haven't got W4SDX. There's a response. Matt in Tennessee. All right. Said thank you, and he called CQ. So I'll move on to the next one here. KE4 what? KE4IHI. His name is Trip, and he's in Texas. So hopefully KE4IHI will call CQ. What? That's confusing. I can't tell which call sign is which here. It might be N5TTT. Yeah, it is N5TTT. He said QRZ again. I'll send my call one more time. There's a response. It's Trip in Texas. It says thank you. All right, got 9. We want to get one more. If we can get one more CQ. I think I tried you already and didn't get you. I'm going to try one more time though. We got 1 minute in the contest. Minute. There's a response. Jerry in Pennsylvania. And he says thank you. Is it N7VS? No, that's... Well, that's Trip in Texas, but I just talked to him. So let's see who's calling CQ here. Now that's 5TTT calling CQ again. 9:15. I probably won't get another contact. So we'll say that's the end of it right there. There's the contacts. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's go 4 on 20 meters. 6 on 40. Looking at the call signs, I don't have any duplicate call signs. 1, 2, 3. So my multiplier will be 10. All right, so let me get rid of that. What I'm going to do is upload these logs to QRZ. Get chat out the way, get that out the way. Go to QRZ.com and open my logbook. And click here to import from ADI file. The ADI file is coming from FLDIGI. It normally has it there, but it's not there. So I gotta go home. The directory is .fldigi. This is under Linux, so it's under .fldigi, and then logs. And then you have to set this to all files. Again, FLDIGI puts a ADIF extension on it. So we're looking for 0807, which is that one because they're on UTC time. So select it, and we'll import that ADI file. And there are those contacts that I just made. I put the actual exchange in the notes so I can have it there. You can also go to well, I'll go back from the beginning over here. When you're looking at the contest, it shows you the time here, 1:45 to 2:15. You can put a log summary up if you choose. You don't have to put a log summary up, but I do it just to see what other people are doing. You gotta look for the contest on the left over here. It's this one right here. Type in my email. Nothing under station call. Single op, low power, none of that. 0.5 hours. QTH is Texas. No clubs. 4 on 20 meters. 6 on 40 meters. Gives you a total of 10 down here. The unique calls with 10, which gives me a score of 100. And I will submit that score. And if you want to see what other people have posted, if they have posted their score, you click on contest summaries down the lower left down here, weekly RTTY test. Then scores. See, I'm right here again. But N1JM says he was only on 10 minutes and he made 5 contacts. I was on the whole 30 and I made 10. So, all right. So this was just people who have uploaded their contacts here. All right. So that's all the RTTY. I did do some pota over the weekend. It was mostly CW. 18 of them were CW, and 2 of them were sideband. I took the, what did I take? I took the 90 out. I might have some pictures here. Let's see. Work. Yeah, it was like it was more like 96 or 97 degrees. So I worked from within the car using the little POTA key. And I had put a piece of tape and a piece of metal on my little board that I use, but it fell off. So I gotta find a way to make it stick on there. I just had the G90 sitting on top of the console, and I was making contacts there. I was running that's a BioNL 12 amp hour battery back there in the background. And all of the contacts were on 20 meters. I wasn't hearing anything on any of the other bands like 17 and 15. And right when I got home from the park, there was some type of solar storm. So the signals were getting worse while I was out there, but I didn't know it. And this is what the spread looked like for those. Spread out pretty even. I was using actually just a ham stick sitting on top of the car. All right, let's see. And when I got home, I listened. I heard a little sideband. I heard a little sideband, and I made one pota contact. Who was that with? Yeah, KC9 KC9 ZP in Wisconsin was on 14325. Let's see if anybody else is out there. Here's my volume. It says there's a Russian station on 14225.5. Where is that thing? Jesus. All right. Russian station on 14225.5. Let's see if we can hear him.
Kilowatt, Quebec, 3 Echo.
I can barely hear the other side of it.
Yeah, USL, I'm good. Pennsylvania, the state of Pennsylvania. My name is Tim, Texas, India, Mike. UA4, Lima, Charlie, Hotel. This is Kilowatt, Quebec, 3 Echo. Thank you for the
Oh, maybe I need to switch back over. L 1.5. Yeah, I can barely hear that station. All right, let's check these POTA stations. I usually don't hear any sideband during the day, in the summertime at least. I'm hearing one side of this POTA station. Let's see which one it is. is. Alright, it must not be the activator. 529. I'm not hearing that one in New York. But I did notice last night I was hearing a lot of stuff on 40 meters. See if I can pick up something on 40. You can see there's stuff out to the left and right on the waterfall, but I'm not hearing that pota station. Try this one. Alright, not hearing that one. Let's see what this big signal is out here.
It's been a horrible season all around. I don't want you to.
That's a strong signal, but my speech is a little rusty.
You're running peaking out of 5.9 also, and I appreciate the contact with 663.
7238. Sounds like a net. Let's see what.
Sweet dreams are at 4JP, Kilo Oscar 4J. That's a good uniform. Oh, hey, Bruce. What's going on? Oh, not a whole lot. Just got out of the club.
7238.
Off the radio because everybody was on. Yeah, you're like 15 over 9 here. You're slamming it.
It's not a net,
So,
though.
yeah, I was just on here briefly. I was on 20 meters earlier. And I came to 40, and I was going to talk to Michael out in Arizona.
A good signal, though.
It was Sierra Alpha.
210.
Okay, I had a Kilo India 5 Zulu Sierra Alpha. Roger. Kilo India 5 Zulu Sierra Alpha.
Those hunters. Okay, I can hear N0 CVL.
5.9 here in Louisiana. Okay, Roger, we have 5.9 into Louisiana. That's the bottom of the TV. 73. 73. Okay, is there a station ending in Whiskey Zulu, Quebec? Yeah, Whiskey Zulu, Quebec. Alright, I got a whiskey out for 4, Whiskey Zulu. I had a box. What are those boxes? Look like a hummingbird flying right by state. Okay, I got a whiskey out for 4, Whiskey Zulu, Quebec, David. I got you 5-6 in the my part 2 and 4, 4.
He's about 5.7 here.
QSL to 5-6, 4407. You are 5-6, 5-6 here to Western North Carolina. Thanks for the contact. I appreciate it. Yeah, appreciate it, David. Have a good evening tonight. Have a good evening. Yeah, thank you. Good evening. Okay, November 0, Charlie. I'm calling CQ Pota. Georgia.
Kilo India 5, Whiskey Tango.
Okay, I believe I had a Kilo Quebec 4, Tango Yankee. Is that correct? QSL, Joe, Leo in Alabama. You're 5-9. Okay, Leo in Alabama. Thanks for the 5-9. I got you 5-6 here at my part 2 at 4407. Copy the 5-6. To hit at the house with 100 watts. Thanks, Charlie, for activating. TTY. Hey, have a great night. 7-3. This is November 0, Charlie Victor Lima calling CQ Pota. Georgia.
Kilo India 5, Whiskey Tango.
Was there a station ending in Papa Delta?
Is a station ending in Tango?
Okay, I got a Kilo
2-2 in Pennsylvania.
Papa Delta, and I got you about a 5-4 in the my part 2 at 4407.
I wasn't hearing anything on 20 meters. I switched to 40.
Victor Lima calling pota,
Kilo India 5, Whiskey, Whiskey Tango.
Okay, park the truck, stand by 1 second. I had a Whiskey 2, Papa Alpha, Papa. Yeah, roger, roger. I've got you 5-8 down here in Houston tonight, man. You sound great.
All right, he didn't hear me. I'm going to give him one more chance, of course.
USL. Thanks for 4407. Go get that park to park, and thanks again for being out there. 73. Yeah, appreciate it, 73. Okay, park to park. Come on in.
Yeah, I've called him about 3 or 4 times. Well, 3 times. We're going to see if he can hear me one more time.
I got your 5-4 into park 2157. That was 2157. I have you 5-4 into I thought you had 4407. You know? Nice yeah, I'll take that on 40 meters for sure. Have a great evening. 73. This is November 0 Charlie Victor Lima calling CQ pota, that's
Kilo India 5, Whiskey, Whiskey Tango.
Was there a station starting with Kilo?
Kilo India 5, Whiskey, Whiskey Tango.
Okay, that was the voice. Let's see if I got this right. Kilo India 5, Whiskey Tango, QSL?
Roger, roger. I got you 5-7 in North Texas, outside of Dallas.
Okay, roger, you have 5-7 into Texas. I got you about a 5-2 at my park, US 4407.
Roger that, 73, and thank you.
Appreciate it, Joseph. Have a great night, 73.
All right, he's got me at a 5-2. That's why he didn't hear me right away. Got him 5-7. Now 3-3. What's this? I want to put it here. Hey, you want to go up 3 and see if you can hear me? 7213. I'm hearing somebody on 213. We'll go up some more. How about 7216? Is the frequency in use? Is the frequency in use? Kilo India 5, Whiskey, Whiskey Tango. I'm hearing something down in the noise. CQ, CQ, Kilo India 5, Whiskey, Whiskey Tango calling CQ. CQ 40 meters, Kilo India 5, Whiskey, Whiskey Tango. Two on 7216. Yeah, I got it at 80 watts. All right, I'll try these 2 other CW stations, see if I can hear them. All right, I can hear that one side of it. CQ pota, K0SN. See if I can do this. Can give you a little, there's no space in between the CQ. forgot to change this back. Let's go to H. Supposed to dip at the end, so I know you're done. Okay, so we got K0SN. Your TX is 1 kilowatt. My TX is 80 watt. Well, 40 watts on CW. All right, that's that. I'm gonna check check some of the stuff coming off the DX cluster. See if I can make a quick contact. But there is there's a CW contest that happens right after the RTTY contest. So if I go back to the contest calendar, we're here. We just did the weekly RTTY test. Yeah, there's some kind of NCC sprint ladder. And then the slow speed test is here. Slow speed test is at 20. And I'm not going to convert it here, so I'm just going to hop over there. What's that? Well, that's not later today. That's later tomorrow. Let's look at that again. We got weekly RTTY right here. Okay. The slow speed test. No, there's nothing else tonight. It looks like. Looks like it's here. So we did RTTY. So the sprint ladder's next. Sprint ladder at 2:30. So the sprint ladder is going on right now. That's a CW contest. And then it says 20 here. But when you look at it here, it's right there. So they may have the time wrong for that. I think the slow speed test comes right after this one. Yeah, I can send at about 20, but I can receive at 18. So when I go out to the park, I just send 18. If anyone's going too fast, I send them a QRS to slow down. And if they don't slow down, I just move on and keep going. But that's good. All right, I did get a notification that old Grego's live right now. I'm going to switch over to there. That's all I'm going to do right now for the weekly RTTY contest and stuff. There's not a lot going on the bands right now.
Never used it.
So I will say,
Radio that will do it.
I will say 7-3 and see you guys next time. This is Greg K6EGG. He's got a live stream going on right now. I usually go over and watch that. 73 and see you next week.